Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to F1 Broke Boys Tier 3. It's time to kick off the new season. Season number 12 has arrived, and tonight we will start with round 1 for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a new season, it's a fresh start, and I'm excited to get this season going. Let me take you through the grid of this season. In the Mercedes we will have Jesus and Tier 3 champion for the second consecutive time. So two-time champion in the Mercedes alongside will be the Tier 4 champion, Sly DJ. Right? But those two will line up in the Mercedes. And then in the Red Bull, yeah, so Tier 4 champion, Sly DJ, so double champion lineup then in the Mercedes. And then we go to Red Bull, we have Lennons alongside Swoosh Terry. Lining up alongside each other in Red Bull. In Sauber, we have Jumpy Painter and Soul Demon, quite a strong lineup as well. Then in the Ferrari we will have Haza and Football FC, quite competitive. Bardi and Kai making his debut in Broke Boys Tier 3 tonight as a full-time driver alongside Wardy. Very experienced in this tier, always a contender for a podium or potential win. In the Aston Martin, Critical Skills and Shark. McLaren will have Parzival and Bob, although Bob at the moment is on holiday, so replacing him for tonight is Nemesis. L5 Wall and Zimniak will be lining up in the Visa Cash App RB team. Alpine will have a runner-up in the championship last season, Tolu, with Kainzan alongside Kainzan, who won 5 of his 5 Grand Prix starts in Tier 4. Was it Tier 5, Tier 4, I think. Tier 5 it was. He won 5 races. He won every race he started. Very strong indeed. He will be in Tier 3 tonight. Hopefully a bit more of a competition for him. Let's see how he faces against this field as Byrne in the Williams goes quickest. He will in the final team alongside Sketchy Crib. Those two in the Williams. Meanwhile, Tolu has gone quicker. He is the first one to go into 127s. Barely with a 991, but replacing him at the top at the moment is Jumpy Painter. He goes 2.5 tenths quicker. But is Sauber on the front row. His teammate not quite able to get into the 27s, but a good lap nonetheless. A good banker lap in P3 right now. So times start coming in. Sly DJ up at the P3. To the second row. Sketchy Crib in the Williams, as we also look at Twitch Terry is about to start his lap. Lennons and Sketchy Crib now running the final corner, trying to complete their lap. His teammate at the moment in P6. He crosses the line to go up into P5 ahead of his teammate. And on to the third row right now is Lennons, only good enough for P13 after his first lap. Jumpy Painter with quite a strong lap, it must be said, for his banker lap. Immediately has got a gap towards the rest of the field. Reigning world champion, Jesus, about to go out and try to set a lap time. Zimniak on the mediums, going off in turn 8. Like he's backed off as well. Yet to set a lap time. Same for this man, Twoosh Terry in the Red Bull. He was in the Williams last season. But season he switched to the Red Bull. Alongside him, Lennon says the game indicates a purple second sector. Always have to take that with a pinch of salt because it's not always accurate. Let's place it like that on the minimap. And he is rounding the final corner. Currently with no time down in P19. But he is gonna change that. Across the line he goes. Up into P5. Good lap indeed. Actually, he's got the exact same lap time as Sketchy Grip he has, but George Terry, how has he got ahead then of the Williams? Sketchy Grip definitely set his lap time earlier, but George Terry, with the exact same lap time, somehow goes ahead of the Williams, so that's quite interesting. Wait. 8.1. 04. 105, and here the place is displays another lap time. So according to the race director, Sketchy Grip is 1000 behind Torch Terry, but according to this timetable, they set the exact same lap time. Either way, Sketchy Grip is on another lap though, to try and get back ahead of the Red Bull. He got just under 11 minutes remaining in this qualifying. His way on the back straight, 3 DRS zones. Longest being the start-finish straight. Then turns 1, 2 and 3 leading up to another DRS zone. And here in the middle of the track, another one, and a Sketchy Grip is quite a good lap time so far. Almost 3/10 up on his time, which could potentially get him on to the front row. If he gets the final sector right as well, and it looks like quite a good lap. Run to the line, running out of ERS just in time, but it is fastest of all, 27.6. What a incredible final sector as well to gain time, and he's got ahead of Jean-Pierre Painter by almost 1/10 of a second. Great lap time indeed to put him on provisional pole position. S12 FC is right behind Jesus. Are they both on the lap? I think they are, but S12 FC is getting held up a bit by Jesus. Are about to cross the line, both of them. S12 goes P10, Jesus only P18 from the reigning champion, and it leaves only the 2 V-Carbs then to set a lap time. R5 Wall is at the end of his lap. He's going to change it. Simniak has gone out again, this time on the soft compound tire. R5 Wall then, what can he do for his first official lap time? P19 only. Not a great start to his qualifying, but I'm sure he's got plenty of time to find. Of Parzival and Toursteri invalidating. I don't think anyone else is on a lap time right now. Nemesis might be in the McLaren, so is Haza, P14 and P15. Right now, Haza now going into the very tricky turn 10. Downhill braking zone, very easy to lock up and run just a little bit wide, compromising the exit onto this third DRS zone. Quite narrow for Nemesis, so looking quite decent. There's Haza with a good improvement so far, over half a second up on his time, and that could well get him into the top 10, possibly ahead of his teammate S12 FC. But I think S12 has got more time in the back, because he definitely got held up by the reigning world champion Jesus. He was running very closely behind to the Mercedes as Haza goes up at the B9. That is a good improvement into the top 10. Can Nemesis replicate that? He is 2/10 up on his time. Not quite as quick as Haza, but could gain a few positions. Run to the line, and he goes up into P14, only 1 position gained. As he's now ahead of both of the Aston Martins. Simniak, with an invalidation, still unable to set a lap time. Warren has backed off, so he's about to start another lap. And he has off Wardy, currently P13, but on good improvement, and he goes up at that P3. Good lap, half a second up in the end, and puts himself onto the second row. Zimniak has got no ERS left, so can't do another lap. Behind him, Kai goes up to P4, so it's a second row at the moment for Haas. Looking quite strong. Lennons, he's run out of ERS, that's not ideal, he will lose a lot of straight line speed with that. He does improve though, but by over a second. And he goes up to P7, 2 thousandths of a second behind Sly DJ. Soul Demon has invalidated Jumpy Painter, is about to start a lap. And speaking of Sly DJ, he's on a lap himself. But only marginally improving through the first 2 sectors as Jesus has left the session. Get in soon. A very minor improvement for Sly DJ on the 200ths of a second. Significant improvement for Kainzan. He is now onto the front row, but still unable to beat Sketchy Crib. He is 27.644. Borndan in the Williams, 2 tenths up. Around the final corner, his teammate. He is on provisional pole position, and he goes up at the P5. Good improvement, good lap. Which means that Williams is now also becoming a contender. Both drivers at the moment in the top 5. Jumpy Painter. He's had a moment on his lap. He was up by 1/10 through sector 1, but in sector 2 he must have had a moment as he's backed off 5 seconds down. So he's about to start another lap with 5 minutes remaining. That's right on board with the kick sour as he goes into the pit lane. Never mind then. Toludo in the Alpine. What can he do as Jesus has fortunately enough rejoined. The top 17 separated by less than a second. Yeah, that's the tier 3 times we love to see. As close as ever. Soul Demon in the meantime onto the front row by 38 thousandths of a second as Tolu is up by 7/100ths through sector 1. It's very close indeed. The top 4 within 1/10 of a second. Can Tolu find a lap time to put himself in between those 4 or potentially ahead? As he's always quite strong, or he can be quite strong in qualifying. On the exit of turn 11 and 12, flat out. And he's up, he's not up, he is down by 2.5 tenths, so didn't look too bad. As Twitch Terry into P4, 5 drivers now within a 10th of a second. Wow, it's 1,000 separating Twitch Terry and Jumpy Painter. It's almost F1 esports levels, talking about how close it is. Oh, Just Football FC with a moment. He is one of 3 drivers currently out on track. Nemesis has gone out quite early, possibly to be able to do 2 laps in case he makes a mistake on his first attempt. Can do a cooldown lap and then another lap with 3 minutes remaining. He will be the first one to start his final flying lap in the McLaren. That's right on board with the McLaren as he navigates his way down the main straight into the hard braking zone of turn 1, which is very tricky on the exit with applying the throttle, kink to the left and then to the right where Nikita Mazepin went off in 2021 on his debut. Let's hope we don't see anyone doing that tonight. Now into turn 4, make sure to keep it within the white lines on the exit, and that is the end of sector 1. Now into the S's, he's up by only 200ths of a second. That exit curve can really drag you along, and now into the braking zone of turn 8. Going uphill again, and then down into turns 9 and 10. Can he keep it narrow? Oh, runs a little bit wide, but I don't think his exit is compromised. On to the third and final DRS straight. Now turns 11 and 12. 11 can be quite tricky on throttle as well during the race, especially with higher tire wear. Tire wear is quite high around here. It's now up by 0.2 of a second. Good improvement so far. Could potentially get him near the top 10. If he absolutely nails this final sector. 1.5 minutes remaining. Everyone apart from Twoosh Terry is on a lap time. Nemesis goes across the line. P16 to P15. Only one position gained. Then we look at S12, and he has had a moment as well. He is 0.3 down, and that might be qualifying over for S12. He's down in P16, he's got no ERS, he can't do another lap. So this might be P16 at best for S12. Let's see. Definitely not ideal qualifying for him. As a bunch of drivers are now starting their lap times. Let's take a look at the man currently on provisional pole position. Sketchy grip. He's lost 1/10 through sector 1. As Jumpy Painter looked quite slow coming out of turn 8. Didn't catch the delta. Find out soon though. Twoosh Terry has gone out, but he is definitely not making the flag. He is halfway down the lap with 20 seconds remaining, so P4 it is at best. Who's going to be the first one to cross the line? I think it is Shark, it is. In the Aston Martin, down at P13. Can he find an improvement? To the line he goes, to P2. What a lap from Shark in the end. 8 thousandths off pole position. Incredible improvement as Soul Demon goes into the gravel. Jumpy Painter, he's not improving either. Sketchy Grip, I don't think is improving. So quite a lot of big names unable to improve on their final laps. Nemesis, he is going back into the pit lane. He already set a lap time. Slight DJ is not improving either. So then we will look at critical skills in the Aston Martin. He's up by 0.3 of a second. P17 up to P9. Good improvement as Lennon's now goes up to P7. And then we will look at Parzival in the McLaren. He's up by almost 0.4 of a second, but I don't think anyone is going to be able to beat Sketchy Crip's lap time unless Kainzon is on a flying lap. Parzival to the top. Parzival goes on pole position. Where on earth did that come from? In the McLaren at 27.601. But Kainzon is on the lap as well, and he could spoil the party. The run to the line for the Alpine. Can he go on pole position? No, he misses out by 21 thousandths of a second. And I think that is the end of qualifying. Boyan is not improving. So it is Parzival on pole position here tonight in Tier 3 with a 127.601. What a lap time. Definitely did not see that coming. And look at the gaps. It is so incredibly close. Top 18 within a second. The top 9 within 0.2 of a second. It really can't get much closer than this. This is incredible. Kainzon in P2 on the front row with 21 thousandths. Sketchy Grip in P3, 42 thousandths. Shark in P4, 50 thousandths. Soul Demon in P5, 81 thousandths. Wow, that was close. My lap in Tier 1 yesterday isn't even top 5. My lap in Tier 1 I think would be in that top 5. I think I did a 6.45, so I would be right in there as well. But this is how close it is. Kai in P6. Incredible job from him as well. Twitch Terry in P7. Jumpy Painter, Haza, Lemons, Wardy, Born, Critical Skills, Tolu, Slight DJ, Nemesis, S12, Jesus, Alpha, Ball, and Zimniak didn't set a lap time. But that is the top 20. The two contenders in the championship last season are down in P14 and P18. So the grid is quite mixed up. Nobody redders up, so I didn't send it in time. We've got 29 laps ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken. But check real quick. I am not mistaken. 29 laps. Tire wear is high around here. The strategy though is hard to softs. The mediums they wear out quite quickly, but the hards they go quite a long way. So hard softs, I think, was the winning strategy in tier 1. I couldn't set my strategy in time, so I started on mediums. Didn't want that, and it didn't work out. So hard soft, soft hard. At the moment, quite a few on softs. It's quite mixed actually, but the majority is on softs. But starting on hards, you will have the tire advantage near the end of the race when you need it. So we'll see if anyone is going to try and attempt that. Although, speaking out of experience in tier 3, a safety car is always just around the corner, and anything can happen. So strategies usually matter too much. It's also about adaptability when it comes to the race. Parts of all is starting on hards though, same as sketchy grip. And with Kainz on softs, he could be taking an early lead because the softs, they are so much quicker in the early stages. So he would want to get past Parzival as soon as possible and then build a gap. Then he will have the tire disadvantage at the end of the race. And the thing is that he will have to pit early and might come out in traffic. So yeah, there's two sides to the story. And both strategies work. Only one can be the winning strategy. And that we will see in around 45 minutes time. Either way, I'm excited to get this season going. It's been a pleasure to commentate tier 3 for all those races. And I'm glad to be doing it again for the new season. Let's have some fun. Hope for some more thrilling action in F1 Broke Boys. Entertainment is pretty much guaranteed in tier 3. So it's never a boring race. Anyway, it's around time to get this race going. Round 1 of 12. 12 races again. After Bahrain to Austria, Qatar, Jeddah, Australia. Then we will have a mystery race again. Then Austin, Monza, China, Abu Dhabi, Belgium, and Silverstone. Those are the 12 tracks we will be racing on this season. At least the 11 tracks. And a mystery track, which could be any of the remaining tracks on the official F1 calendar. Which is also always quite exciting. But I hear a beep, meaning we're about to start, and there we go. 29 laps ahead of Parzival in the McLaren is on pole position on the hard compound tire alongside him is Kainzan on the softs. And I think the Alpine will have to better start. Yes, he has, as Kainzan immediately pulls alongside the McLaren on the run towards turn 1, and Kainzan has already taken a lead as we head into turn 1 as a Red Bull going off track, taking some avoiding action, but Kainzan has taken the lead, which was quite expected. Parzival is able to maintain his second place though, ahead of Shark, who's also on the softs. Then we've got Soul Demon and Sketchy Grip. One of the Alpines is having trouble at the back, and that's Tolu in the Alpine. He's gone off in the opening stages. It's an Alpine sandwich at the moment, and the man runner-up in the championship is currently down in P20. So that's not an ideal start to his season, as Kainzan, as expected, already building a gap over 1.5 seconds. Not even halfway into the opening lap yet. But that is the tire advantage as Parzival running a bit deep, and I think he got a bit of a hit from behind as well. As Shark desperately trying to get past, as he knows this is his time to shine. With the tire advantage, he sends one up the inside of Parzival and he gets past. So two soft runners at the moment leading. Let's take a look at the strategies. So Kinds of the Shark on soft, Twisteri, Sly DJ and Tolu. 5 drivers on softs. Then we've got Soul Demon, Haza, Guns, Nemesis and Shasuplosi on the mediums, and everyone else on the hard compound tire. Kainzan leads by 2.5 seconds. Soul Demon with a very interesting line coming out the final corner. He's alongside the McLaren, trying to get past, unable to do so. Parzival's left the session, and that is far from ideal. Hopefully he's able to get back as soon as possible, but he's going to drop down the road like a stone. Sketchy Grip is now up to P3, but he's got Soul Demon for company. Oh, and that was Twisteri going up the inside of the Sauer. There wasn't really much room to work with. Race strategy, soft, hard, soft, hard. No, that's definitely not what we're going to be seeing tonight. As that is Lemons up the inside of Haza. Big lunge into turn 8. But we'll now have the outside line into turn 9s and 10. Is he going to make it stick around the outside? Ooh, not quite able. But he has the tire advantage. Better acceleration. Still alongside the Ferrari as they go wheel to wheel towards turn 11. And still trying to make it work around the outside, but now he's run out of road and has to settle for P7 for now. He's now under pressure as well from Bourne in the Williams. Is he going to be able to find a way past, of course, on the hard compound tire? Slight DJ on the softs. Been gaining too much positions, despite being on the softs. Kainzan. He is flying though at the front. Sets a false lap. He's got a 3-second gap. As here is Twisteri, another one on the softs. Gets past Soul Demon. Is he going to send up the inside of Sketchy Grip as well? Wheel to wheel we go. Parzival has rejoined. A bit of contact, and Soul Demon on the exit is able to get back ahead. But Twisteri with the inside line surely will be able to maintain in P4. The Sauber still having to go around the outside. Wheel to wheel through turn 4. Don't want to be battling too much in the opening stages, and Soul Demon stays ahead of the Red Bull, so Twisteri unable to get past, which is really costing him in these stages of the race. Kainzan now with a 3.3 second lead over Shark, who is not able to get Sketchy Grip out of his DRS, which is interesting because Sketchy Grip still on the hards. Doing an incredible job, must be said, to stick with the Aston Martin. Then quite a few medium runners as well inside the top 10. Being near the end of lap 3. Is Soul Demon gonna have a go at the Williams? Not quite sure, I don't think he is. Sketchy Grip still staying with Haza off the inside as Twisteri runs wide, but does have the better exit to stay in front of the Ferrari. I think he was trying to go for a move to get past Soul Demon, but was unable to do so. He ran wide. I think he outbraked himself. As Haza's now in a Red Bull sandwich. And then it's Bourne, Jumpy Painter and Sly DJ rounding out the top 10. Terry once again very close to the back of Soul Demon, but he's really struggling to get past these guys. Now with a bit of exit, but Soul Demon still just ahead. He's a bit too far back to go for a lunge. Has to remain in P5 for a little while longer. Tolu making his way back up the field again after his spin on the opening lap. He's on the softs. He has got ahead of both of the V-Carbs who are having a disastrous day so far. P19 and 20. Parzival has dropped down to P12, unfortunately due to his disconnect. Very unlucky indeed. Was on pole position. Was still running in the podium position after lap 1. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near that podium. We'll have to hope for a miracle as we see Haza now up the inside of Twitch Terry. Twitch Terry is going backwards instead of forwards. Oh, and he's made a bit of a mistake into turn 1. Or did he make contact? Either way, he's lost the back end. And he's now down into P9, so very frustrating opening a few laps for the Red Bull driver. We're going to get past the ones on the slower tyre, and now losing even more positions down to P9, joined by slight details on softs. It's a massive train from Shark onwards, who is unable to match the pace of Kynes on 3.5 seconds for almost 5 laps of racing. Kynes on at the moment seems to be dominating tier 3 as well, but he is on the softs. It's going to be an entire different picture near the end of the race, when everyone else will be on the quicker tire. We've got yellow flags out there. I think it might have been Zimniak. Did they come together, the two V-Carbs? They're a long way behind Tolu. I think they were just quite close to the Alpine. But now they're both 5 seconds behind, and Zimniak now half spins the car. Absolute disaster for V-Carb. Shark now under great pressure from Sketchy Grip. Here comes with the DRS, is able to get past. And the Williams back up into P2. It's lap 6, I think lap 7 or 8 is the crossover point between softs and hards, which tire is quicker. So you see wheel to wheel action in the background. That's Warren and Lennon going wheel to wheel. And is Twitch Terry going to be able to profit from that? Simniak retires in pit lane. Jumpy Painter is stopped down to P9. He's still running around the outside of Twitch Terry. Wheel to wheel. What a move from Jumpy Painter. Long way around the outside into turn 4. Gets ahead of the Red Bull. And he's now right at the back of the other one. And he sends one up the inside into turn 8. With a bit of contact between the two, drifting on the exit. And that is going to allow Twitch Terry to get back in front. So Jumpy Painter back down to P9, all this good work has become undone. And he is going to have to try again. By DJ rounding out the top 10, then it's a bit of a gap towards Wardy. 1.5 seconds, and another gap to the second train. This race led by Shushful FC. And we see the two McLarens now going wheel to wheel. Parzival is dropping as well. He's got Nemesis up his inside as they go wheel to wheel. A bit of contact between the two. Oh, and the McLarens have collided, and that is caught out Kai as well. The two McLarens colliding in race 1. Well, that's not ideal, and Kai really unfortunate getting caught up in that, and I think he's got damage as well, and he is going to have to enter the pit lane. But well, inter-team drama already in round 1. Although Nemesis is a reserve driver, he did just collide with his teammate for this race. Not sure who was at fault, but well, that has definitely put him put them on the back foot. Well outside the top 10, and both outside the points. And Kai caught in a moment, got front wing damage. And he's going to go on to the medium, so definitely a 2-stopper then. Meanwhile, as we look at the front end, Kainzan has now got almost a 4.5 second lead over Sketchy Grip. I think he swapped with Shark times last lap. As Boren has got past Sly DJ, but he's got out of the DRS of Jumpy Painter. So slowly but surely, we're starting to see some gaps in the top 10. We now got P2, 3 and 4 right with each other, then a 1.3 second gap towards Haza and Jumpy Painter, and then another 1.3 second gap towards Boren, Sly DJ, Dylan's, and Wardy is caught up, so good job from him. Closing the gap. As we go wheel to wheel into turn 1 again, Shark gets past Sketchy Grip, and so does Soul Demon. Sketchy Grip down to P4. And Jumpy Painter and Haza also swapping positions. Jumpy Painter was P9 a few laps ago. He's now up to P5. So, good drive. He's making the moves on the hard compound tire. As we see Jesus and Toto going wheel to wheel, the two championship contenders from last season, going wheel to wheel here at round 1 on Bahrain. And Toto has got past Jesus. Toto was running P20 at the end of lap 1. He's up at the P11 as Kai has retired in pit lane. That's a second and a half from Critical Skills on the inside of Jesus. Into turn 8, Jesus fighting it out in the midfield. Not where he wants to be, but he is on the hard compound tire. Toto up at the P11, Jesus in P12, then it's Critical Skills. And Twitch Terry's all the way down at P14. What has happened to him? I didn't quite catch what happened to the Red Bull driver. He went from fighting in the top 5 to fighting outside the points, outside the top 10, as the two McLarens once again go wheel to wheel. These two are fighting it out more with each other than the others, which really is the last thing you need in a race. But Kai unfortunately has retired. Nothing he could have done to avoid that. Shark is going to be the first one to go into the pit lane. And I reckon he's going to go onto the hard compound tire on lap 9 of 29. He's not the only one. Tolu, Twitch Terry, and just Football FC in the Ferrari. He was on the mediums. And he's going in as well. So might be struggling a bit with tire wear, that he opted for the mediums instead of the softs. Those four are going to be the first one into the pit lane on lap 9. Kainzan will probably follow soon. Well as Sly DJ, the only two remaining on the softs. And we also still got Soul Demon, Haza, Lenons and Nemesis there on the mediums. Can go a little bit longer, but not too much. Mediums do wear out quite quickly as well. Soul Demon gets past Sketchy Grip. Now on to P2. 5.5 seconds behind Kainzan, who was just minding his own business at the front. He's quite experienced in driving at the front, as he has done so in all his races in Tier 5 last season. But he is going to enter the pit lane. He's going to give away that lead as we go on to lap 10. Kainzan into the pit lane. So is Sly DJ. So no soft runners remain. As we see Critical Skills and Jesus fighting it out. Critical Skills up to P8. Bit of a comeback drive from him as well. As Haza gets ahead of Jumpy Painter with a very poor exit out of turn 3. So Haza now onto the podium positions, though numbers 1 and 2 have already pitted. Shark is at the moment 6 seconds behind Kainzan. So Kainzan actually gained time with staying out with one more lap. Oh, into the wall goes Boren on the exit of turn 10. What happened there with the Williams? That is a really unorthodox place to go into the wall, as it's a hard braking zone. What happened? He's into the wall, he's lost his front wing, I think. Oh, he's got damage. He's missing the right end plate. That was a really, really strange accident for the Williams driver. Undoubtedly will be going into the pit lane to replace that, but what on earth happened there? Just saw him going off in the background. Straight into the wall. Did he outbrake himself or make some sort of contact with anyone? I'm not quite sure, but fact is he will be entering the pit lane. Getting himself a 10-second penalty for speeding. That is far from ideal. Now he really has to hope for a safety car to save his race, as he can't serve this penalty in this pit stop. Goes onto the mediums, which won't make the end. I'm pretty sure these will be in puncture territory. Yeah, he will have to hope for a safety car. That's very unfortunate. As Derry gets past Tolu. B14, these three fighting it out. Derry, Tolu and Shush Football. Fight too much. End up losing too much time to the ones that haven't pitted yet. Bahrain has come out in V17, only ahead of Nemesis. His teammate, Sketchy Crip, is still out in front. He is in the lead of this race. So, yet to pit. Followed by Soul Demon, Haza and Jumpy Painter, the two Saubers, doing a great job. Haza and Soul Demon still staying out on the mediums. But the gap is growing a bit towards Sketchy Crip. As the hearts slowly but surely start to get better compared to the mediums. That is Jumpy Painter up the inside into turn 1. Wheel to wheel with Haza trying to get past. But unable to do so, as Jesus and Critical Skills once again swapping positions on the main straight. As here goes Tolu. Gets past the Red Bull driver. He's back up into B14. 17.5 laps remaining. Been quite a calm race, it must be said, for Tier 3 standards. It's incredible to see. Haza, who for a moment he was dropping out of the DRS range of Soul Demon. He has got back into it, 8/10. At the moment he seems to be struggling on these old mediums. Wouldn't be surprised if he is going to come into the pit lane soon, as Jumpy Painter up the inside of the final corner, really a race you want to overtake, but he does so regardless. Gets past, and Haza is going to pull off into the pit lane to get rid of these mediums and go into sort of hard sets. Very, very careful into the pit lane, almost going to a complete stop. Jumpy Painter, because of that, is now, I think, out of DRS range of his teammate. Yeah, he is. It's unfortunate for him. Haza on the hards, where is he going to come out? I think he's coming out near Sly DJ, I think right behind. Wow, they're actually quite close to the turn when he's got ahead of Sly DJ, but on colder tires. Is the Mercedes going to be able to get past while he's got the tire advantage for this outlap? The total once again looking to getting past towards Derry. Sketchy Crip now has got a 1.3 second gap towards Soul Demon, so the medium's definitely dropping off after 13 laps. So Soul Demon and Lennon are probably going to be coming into the pit lane quite soon. Put on a set of hearts. At the end of lap 13, are we going to see Kicksauber pulling into the pit lane? He was sliding around in the final quarter, and he is going to pull into the pit lane. So Soul Demon, it's going to be interesting to see where he is going to come out. Compared to Haza, they were quite close to each other. Soul Demon 1 lap later, Lennon's into the pit lane as well. So let's keep an eye out on the Ferrari driver. Navigating his way out of the final corner. Got Sly DJ for company as well. I think so, he's coming out quite far ahead of Haza. Oh, very close to the back of Shark. That is quite the overcut for Soul Demon. Look at the gap he's got. He's got around 3.5 seconds towards Haza. That is quite a significant gap. Not sure how that is done in just one lap difference, but didn't expect that because the mediums definitely seemed slower, but apparently not. Got a great in lap. He's now also right at the back of Shark, who's been on these hards for already 5 laps. Looking to find a way past. Is he going to attempt on this straight? No, he's not. The Haza pit entry, yeah, you're right. That is indeed why he lost so much time. I said he was going slowly, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, he was extremely cautious going into it, as GJ is the first one to pick up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, which is impressive. After 15 laps of racing, only then we get someone getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. But yeah, that's why Haza lost out so much time with the pit entry, as Soul Demon now gets past Shark up into P8, and I think virtually in P2, 8 seconds behind Kainzan. By the way, Kainzan is doing an incredible job in this race, as he's going around the outside of the man who started on pole position. But the ones who are yet to pit will have the tire advantage, but would it be enough to close that gap? Check your ding. Sorry, DJ is losing time. He was overtaken by Haza. He's now going with Tolu. Oh, that is Roosteri up the inside of turn 10. Tolu was momentarily side by side with Sly DJ. Now Roosteri had to go up the inside. Wheel to wheel we go. Ooh, very close indeed. But the Red Bull able to stick his car alongside the Alpine as they go wheel to wheel in the final sector. Jumpy Paint to the pit lane. Roosteri picks up a 3-second time penalty because of track limits, bit of contact between himself and Tolu aggressively chops across the Alpine. He'll probably get the DRS, but now he's got the Ferrari shot for C around his outside. It's all kicking off in the back of the midfield here. Look at all these cars entering the main straight. And there is Jumpy Painter coming out, and he's on the mediums. That is quite early for him to stop. 13 laps, it's about the same as his teammate did on the mediums, to be fair. But I think he could have stretched his stint a little bit longer. Looked quite comfortable on the hards. But he's come out in clean air, which is the most important thing. 1.8 seconds towards Shark. And ahead of all these cars, which is probably why he pitted. In hindsight, was a good decision. Because if he went a few laps later, he would have come out in this massive fight as Roosteri, but a questionable move into turn 8. I think he made a bit of contact with Tolu. Now again, as his teammate in the background is going off as well. Back to tier 3 action here for a moment. Those mediums will die in the last 2 laps, yeah, I agree. But yeah, was a bit of a predicament for Jumpy Painter. Because if he stayed out a few laps longer, he probably would have come out in this group, which would have lost him so much time as well. But he will struggle in the end. He will struggle indeed. So he's gonna have to hope that his rivals out at the front will come out in that massive group here, fighting it out. As Roosteri goes ahead, and we see 3 wide momentarily. with the Lennons and Just Football FC. Alpha Ball as well, he's still out there on his hearts, struggling for grip. There's a nice switchback move there by Just Football on the outside with the DRS, and he's going to get ahead of Alpha Ball as well. Alpha Ball really having a disastrous day. I'm not quite sure what happened to him, because he was very competitive last season. I think he even picked up a win and a few podiums. Right now he's at the back of the grid in P17, nowhere near the points. He's also at the pit. Twelve laps to go. Gets your grip. Still in the lead of this race, ahead of Wardy by 3.5 seconds. And then it's Critical Skills and Jesus, who will probably be swapping positions again. Still Mercedes of Jesus alongside into turn 1. Gets ahead of the Aston Martin once more. Definitely not fighting for a podium here tonight. Jumpy Painter with the tire advantage. Quite easily able to get past Shark. Get past his teammate as well as soon as possible. Rapidly closing the gap towards Soul Demon. That's the tire advantage. Mediums are so much quicker in these early laps. Also wear out so much quicker. DRS now, but Soul Demon is going to stay ahead, so I think Jumpy Painter will go for it on the main straight very earlier, because Soul Demon looks to be struggling for grip. Ahead of these two is Parzival, still on the hard since lap 1. One of 6 drivers who hasn't pitted yet. And he's now pulling into the pit lane, Parzival in the McLaren. Also going quite slowly into the pit lane, not taking any risks, as Jumpy Painter is going to get past his teammate now. P6. And he's 5.5 seconds behind Kainzan. So Kainzan, a few laps ago, I said the gap was 8.5 seconds to his nearest rival. Now the gap has been cut down by 3 seconds. And will be cut down by quite a few more seconds probably, because Jumpy Painter will be much quicker on the mediums. And Kainzan, he's been on his hards for already 9 laps. So it might not be as easy as you think for Kainzan to win this race. Jumpy has a chance of getting a podium, yeah. With the DRS train he has in the lead. But it will be tight. And also on the final lap is where it's all going to be decided. So it could be a big DRS train at the end of the race. Near the front of the field. The Shark is closing the gap towards Soul. He's almost within DRS range. But goes a bit wide now into turn 13. Yeah, if he works with his teammate, that is going to be important, as the race leader Sketchy Grip and the man in second place Wardy into the pit lane. So is Jesus and Critical Skills, so they're all putting into the pit lane on lap 20. And they are going to be going onto the soft compound tire. But where are they going to come out? Kainzan now inherits the lead once again, but he's lost yet another half a second towards Soul Demon now, who's got ahead of his teammate. So hopefully these two will work together and not fight each other too much to close the gap. Jumpy Painter's now closing the gap. Don't go for it on the inside. No, he isn't. He's staying behind. Good to see. So working together with his teammate to close that gap. They've got 10 laps to do so. And Sketchy Grip rejoins quite far behind. He's also in a bit of traffic. right behind Slight DJ and Haza. But the Mercedes is throwing a lot, a bit of contact. That's the speed difference, quite significant, but he gets up the inside now. And he needs to get past Haza as soon as possible as well. Then he will have a clean track to close that gap of 6 seconds. Four and a half seconds. They are closing, but not quite quickly enough. I don't think. 10 laps. If they gain half a second a lap, they will be good. But at the moment, they are gaining a few tenths a lap. We saw Demon can now slingshot his teammate again. A bit lower on ERS. But now with the DRS and slipstream, gets ahead. Gap now 4.2, 4.1. Getcha Grip's got ahead of Hasa. Let's see what he can do on the softs. Wardy is behind his entire train, but he's making moves into turn 1. As he's going wheel to wheel with Tolu, who is doing a great job after being spun on lap 1. Fighting near the back end of the top 10. So he's got Lance now up his inside. Towards turn 4, wheel to wheel we go with the Alpine and the Red Bull. Slightest contact between the two. And he gets ahead, he stays ahead actually, so surprised to see that happening, but good job for him. But I must say, Jesus and Critical Skills, I said they wouldn't be anywhere near a top 5, top 6, but I'm surprised to see they're quite close to these guys, and this train is led by Hasa, which is P6, and they could get potentially up into P7 and 8. So Jesus was starting in P18. Might get a decent result out of this. Keeping an eye out on them as well. Jumpy Painter, the gap is down to 4 seconds, so he's only gained a handful of tenths once again. They're definitely not catching quick enough. The ice will also be out on this man. Sketcher Grip, fastest lap of the race, 129.448. Take a look at how quickly he is gaining. Wardy is now ahead of Drew Sterry. As we go wheel to wheel in the background, Tolu, Lennon and Sly DJ, and here we see Jesus. Is he going to get past his teammate quite easily? I think he is. Sly DJ not fighting his teammate too much. Jesus up to P11, and through goes Critical Skills as well, as Sly DJ goes a little bit wide. Skills following Jesus right now. Oh, that's a send from Jesus, and that's contact, and more contact from Critical Skills. Surprised to see Jesus going for an aggressive move like that. Yeah, it was just a bit too aggressive on the brakes, and the back end stepping out on the braking. Fortunately, no real damage done to any of these. As now is going to send it up the inside once again. Offlane is desperate to try and get past these guys as soon as possible. Keep it safe though. They aren't catching because they're using the one ray of swapping with DRS. Painter gets ahead now. He should have the tire advantage, Jumpy Painter, but he was ahead and at another lap as well. But I don't think he gained a lot of time on Kainzan. In fact, the gap is to 4 seconds once again, so I don't think they've gained any time after the last lap. So Kainzan might just be doing the job good enough of securing the win on his tier 3 debut. Critical Skills around the outside of Tolu. Nice move indeed. He's got ahead of Jesus as well, so Critical Skills is making the moves. And he's now right at the back of the Red Bull. So P7 is definitely possible for the Aston Martin. maybe even P6, but he will have to gain a lot of time on Shark, his teammate. Might see that happening as he got past the first Red Bull of Lennon's. And Jesus is going to get past his former championship rival, or is he? Wheel to wheel. Because should have the tire advantage around this corner, around the outside he goes. Contact between the two and Toto into the wall. Jesus and Toto collide in round 1 of season 12, and the Alpine is facing the wall. He's got damage to his front wing. His day just got even worse. Really a disappointing day for Toto. He had a moment on lap 1, and now again he came together with Jesus. He's going to pull into the pit lane to get a new front wing and probably go for the fastest lap in the process. No, he isn't. He's retiring from this race. So third retirement. Looks like the softs have lost their advantage. So they're still quicker. Not by too much. One who has the ERS should use ERS and one behind the recharge, then swap to gain time. Now they need swap. Not gonna DRS with 20% ERS, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jumpy Painter right now is behind, but the car in front of him has got the ERS advantage. No, the gap is down by 1 second, so they gained a bit of time again. Jumpy Painter, but yeah, you're right. Now he should be pushing his ERS instead of the car right behind him. Oh. I think if they did it the other way, like you just said, they could have potentially caught up to Kainsam, but I think they are running out of laps to do so. Gets your grip, by the way, he is definitely not catching the top 3. I think he had a moment actually, Sketchy Grip, because he's right ahead of Wardy. I don't think they were quite close a few laps ago. 5 seconds behind Soul Demon. Oh yeah, Sketchy Grip had a half spin on lap 24 and just checked back in the stream. So that's why he's back down there. Or back down there, that's why he's so far back. So that's it. He was 2.5 seconds behind the Saubers at that point when he half spun. So that's his chance of a race win completely gone. Unfortunate for him, as they're gonna swap again. Now they need to push the ERS. At least Soul Demon, he's got 50%, so not the ideal battery. We want to have 50-60%. Still more than his teammate behind. 2.8, they've gained 2/10, which won't be enough. So we see more action down the field. Hasa and critical skills are down to P9 again. Like his softs are running out of rubber, as Sketchy Grip and Wardy now fighting it out for P4. They won't be fighting for the podium. I think it's going to be a double podium for Sauber. But there was so much more in it. Could they have worked together better to get a race win potentially? I'm saying like it's over already. It's not. There's still 3 laps to go. You know, anything can happen, but the chances are significantly reduced. By a 3-second time penalty. After all of that, he's in the points, but Bourne is right behind him without a penalty. He served it in pit lane as Nemesis is going off in sector 2. Down in P17. There looked so promising. Parzival on pole, but after he got disconnected, things went downhill quite quickly. But he is going for P10 right now, so still be quite a decent result. That's up ahead. We almost went 3 wide there with Critical Skills, Haza and Shark. Haza, well not Shark, Tours Terry. Haza P7 now, ahead of Critical Skills and Tours Terry. Still on these hards for 18 laps. The deep as well into turn 4. Ooh, Kainzon is dropping off. His tires, they're finished. And the gap towards Soul Demon, 1.3. This is not over yet. This is not over yet. He's got ERS. Soul Demon could get the win still. It's over when it's over. There's 2 laps to go. Soul Demon is rapidly closing the gap. He's got 4 laps newer tires. Can he pull it off? Critical Skills re-overtakes Haza in P7. The 2 drivers behind him both got a time penalty, so doesn't necessarily need to finish ahead of him. Although the disadvantage for Soul Demon right now is that his teammate is dropped out of his DRS. His mediums, they have faded. Kainzon is low on ERS as well. This could become very spicy on the final lap, because Soul Demon is closing that gap. Sketchy Grip and Wardy, they're fighting it out for P4. But we are looking at the fight for the race win. Soul Demon will need to be within DRS range going onto the final lap to have a chance. 1.1. He is getting closer and closer. All the good work from Kainzon is coming undone. 18 laps on these hards. It's too long. The gap is down to 7/10. We've got 1.5 laps remaining. Could we see a change of lead as Haza, he is spun off in sector 2. It's all kicking off in the midfield for the final few positions inside the top 10. Parzival and Woosteri and Jesus, etc. Lennons as well. They're fighting it out for P8, 9, 10 and 11. But look at this. Here we are, nearing the final lap of the race. Soul Demon, he is within 2/10. They have got similar ERS levels. Soul Demon a little bit less, but he does have the tire advantage and the DRS going on to this final lap. Soul Demon with the DRS, will we see a lead change on the final lap of this race? He's going to pull alongside the Kicksauber, is going to get past Kainzon. There's nothing he can do to defend his attack. Ooh, slight contact under braking. Soul Demon has retaken the lead of this race. Not quite sure if he has ever led this race so far. He's ahead of Kainzon, who is at the moment not really fighting back. There anything he can do. Look how much he is struggling with the back end, stepping out. Soul Demon, after all of that, is your race leader on the final lap of this race. Incredible scenes here in Bahrain. And I don't think that Kainzon has an answer to this. The gap has grown to 8/10. He has accepted it. He is accepting P2 right now. He's low on fuel. That might be why. Look at that. The light is flashing. So it might not have been the tires. Or maybe it played a bit of a part, but the fuel as well. Kainzon is running out of fuel. Is he gonna make it? He's pushing his ERS, so I think he's safe right now. We're gonna come around the final corner. Soul Demon in the Kicksauber against all odds is gonna come across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. What a drive from Soul Demon ahead of Kainzon. Jumpy Painter repeats who is gonna get P4. Sketchy Grip and Wardy to the line. Will to will we go. Wardy takes it by 4,000ths of a second. Wow, what a finish for P4 as well. But Soul Demon, who would have thought? with 10 laps to go, that Soul Demon would come out on top. Overtook Kainzon on the final lap of this race. Truly magnificent. It's a Kick Sauber double podium. Well done to Jumpy Painter as well. Wardy in P4, Sketchy Grip in P5. Shark and Critical Skills, good points for Aston Martin. Parzival from pole position after he disconnected with a strong comeback drive to finish in P8. And then it's Jesus in P9 from the back of the grid. But wow, what an end to this race. That was an incredible race to watch. And what a way to kick off the season. As we will look at the podium to this man Soul Demon. He is your winner of round 1. Anyway, that's the end then of this race. Here we have the final results. Sketchy Grip gets the fastest lap point. Denon's the final one in the top 10. The entire top 10 without a penalty, by the way. Quite impressive. Tours Terry, Sly DJ, Haza, Sheshoplasi, Boyan, Alpha Ball, Nemesis, Total, Kai, and Zimniak. 3 DNFs. Quite a lot of action. But all in all, a great race. And well done to everyone on the podium. Well done to Soul Demon. A truly astonishing drive, taking the lead on the final lap. Well done to Kainzon as well. Was incredibly strong throughout the entirety of this race. On his debut, out on pole by a few hundreds. Led most of this race. Unfortunately, couldn't quite win it, but I'm sure win this season. Anyway, that's it from me for tonight. And that wraps up round 1 of season 12 of F1 Broke Boys Tier 3. Next week, we will return for round 2 in the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. I'll see you then. Thank you all for tuning in. See you guys next time. Have a good evening. Goodbye.